My name is Smiley.
And I am J to the Izzo, H to the Izin. I was going to say Jizz on. That's probably not. That's probably not a good nickname. And yeah, you can finish it, I guess, now.
Welcome to Smiley's Corner.
Yep, the one and only corner of which is Smiley's. Thank you for having me today, Smiley. I guess we'll let the interview commence. Go ahead and ask away.
Coronavirus day.
Aw, dude, we made a pact that we wouldn't talk about it. We were going to pretend like, what? We just found out. That would be weird if you could go back and listen to it, because I'm pretty sure some of the stuff is at least topical. I think as far as our podcast go, you can probably like date it, but that would be weird to, like, if it was a time capsule, go back and it's like, wow, they never even mentioned the coronavirus. But I'm pretty sure we talked about it last week. So. And things have changed in a week. Wow, man, have they changed in a week?
Yes. Well, national emergency.
Yeah. I'm learning the meanings of words. Pandemic. I was gonna say it has a negative connotation, but it should. But I guess it's one of those things where it's like what do they call not a school shooting, but like a shooting, a mass shooting. I think a mass shooting, and it's still awful, but it only has to have 2 or 3 people involved.
Oh yeah,
for it to be considered, and you're like, oh okay. I know that sounds bad, but I don't want to underplay a mass shooting. But it's the same thing with like pandemic. I think
more than
there are like a very small, well, not small, but in relative to the human population, a small number that has to be required for it to be a pandemic. So I'm like, oh okay. Because whenever I hear pandemic, I'm like, wow, we're all sick and we're all going to die.
Yeah, you always hear about that, like in Africa, like when they had all the Ebola stuff. It's like it's a pandemic in Africa, and like I don't know, like a handful of people died, but like this is like a serious thing.
There was so we talked about off mic, but a lot of people being angry about referring to it as the Chinese flu. Like honestly. It shouldn't be called that just because, like, I don't know if it's bad, but I kind of like Wu flu.
Wu flu?
Yeah. But people I just saw people debating on it online and stuff, and someone said that Ebola is named after a place as well. And I didn't know that. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I've never heard of any place called Ebola. And that would suck if it's called, like, because I get it, like I think the Spanish flu, which I don't even know if that originated. I see people debating on this. I like how like people are more concerned with where it's from and where it's labeled, but I don't know, just call it COVID-19. I thought we had all agreed to call it that fucking thing, or coronavirus. Like, why are we debating on the other ones? Like, I don't understand why it has to have. No, it's got to have a border, man. We gotta put it somewhere. I mean, you can track it down and fucking stomp it out at the source. It's fine, but I don't understand why it has to be like geographically like identified. Like, I just thought we had all agreed on COVID-19. That was fine with me.
The name Ebola virus is derived from the Ebola River, a river that was first thought to be in close proximity to the area in Democratic Republic of Congo, previously called Zaire, where the 1976 Zaire Ebola virus outbreak occurred, and the taxonomic suffix virus.
Wow, that's insane. But see, that's what I was gonna say about this. Like I've heard COVID-19, coronavirus, and now, like I say, I don't understand why. Like now we're gonna call it Chinese flu. But that's what's weird to me is because they're at least calling it Chinese flu. Like Ebola is just Ebola.
Yeah.
So can you imagine going to Ebola and you're like, wow, your place is named Ebola? Like, that's like calling this place influenza.
Well, I think it looks like it was
So imagine
shortened.
if instead of Chinese flu, people just started calling it Chinese. Like, that would be really fucked up. Yeah, that's true. Everything's shortened.
Yeah, because it was, it says in 1998 the virus name was changed to Zaire Ebola virus, and in 2002 the species Zaire Ebola virus, like Ebola virus is one word.
Mm-hmm.
And then, however, most scientific articles continue to refer to Ebola virus or use the term Ebola virus and Zaire Ebola virus in parallel.
Wow. Okay. So people are gonna COVID's good. Don't call it Corona. God, I feel bad for Corona.
Well, that makes it like, I guess it like helps people that are like already confused in the first place, but there's
We have
coronavirus is like a group of viruses.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I'm just I
like,
don't know.
isn't SARS
I kind
a
of like Wu
corona?
flu, but see, even Wu flu, I guess is technically offensive because that's Wuhan,
Yeah.
which I'm not gonna lie. You know what? People know that I'm a moron and I'm not geographically smart, so I don't even know what Wuhan is. I don't know. Is it a city? Is it a palisade? Why
Wuhan's
is
a
that the
city.
second thing I went to? Okay, just a city. So that's even offensive, I guess, technically, or it would be to some people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, damn it. Just Wu Flu sounds good. Actually, our sometimes a third host refers to it as Roni News. Just catching up on Roni News.
Roni
Like
news?
Corona, but
Oh.
he's taken off Rona and just gone with Roni. Looking up Roni News.
Roni news.
So, I mean, that kind of sounds like Brony. That's kind of a virus, right? Just kidding. I don't want to fucking... Oh, man, I could get beat up by a Brony, I bet. That's the last thing I would want. Not the last thing I would want, but...
Some big smelly kid with blue hair.
Can I share a funny story that will take our minds off of...
Okay.
So I was on Twitter yesterday, and a lot of times I like to... It's kind of fun, in a weird way, to hit the little magnifying glass to go to search. Because it takes you basically to, like, a list of, like, what's trending and what's the top news. And it's this sounds really lame, like, but, you know, quarantine fun. But sometimes, you know, it'll just have a word or a person's name. But it won't say, like, why. So yesterday it said trending, and it said Oprah. I'm like, oh, no. Why is Oprah trending?
Uh-huh.
And it turned out that she was raided and arrested for sex trafficking.
What?
I know. Turns out it's not true.
Oh. Okay.
Are you familiar with QAnon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently it was a rumor that started, I guess, from QAnon, which is funny because it goes, apparently it goes pretty deep and stuff. But she, I guess, eventually found out about this and said, like, yeah, I'm just sanitizing and social distancing from everything. None of that stuff actually happened. But QAnon, I guess, had a lot of...
I thought QAnon was supposed to be stopping the lizard people or something.
Well, I think that, you know, they're working on it. They're working on it. I'm almost afraid that, like, all of these, like, crazy conspiratorial groups and stuff, like, I'm always worried that they're going to get, like, it's like the boy who cried wolf. I'm worried that they're going to get one really bad thing right.
Oh, well, I mean, Alex Jones, he had a few things like that popped up, and it's just
true.
like people, nobody really wanted to.
There is a pedophile island. Like, we all know that exists now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, whatever. Who cares about it?
Epstein's dead. Nobody cares.
But followers post fake stories of a large-scale conspiracy that pits U.S. President Donald Trump against a global elite seeking to murder him. But it was kind of crazy. Apparently, there's been a lot of this stuff going on. Can't imagine why. A pandemic, they've all... But it says, this is from CNN. I know, guys, but just bear with me. I don't know if we got haters or lovers of the CNN. Whatever. Who gives a shit? But one Facebook post that is still active on the social media platform. Still active, Smiley. Can you believe that? It has more than 1,000 shares, claims that a house in Boca Raton, Florida, which they say is Oprah's house, was seized, roped off with red tape. A YouTube live stream video with more than 48,000 views. Just to be fair, that could be one person watching it 48,000 times. Further perpetuates that conspiracy, saying the entire house is roped off with police banners. And apparently, Oprah is not the only victim of QAnon's latest false conspiracy theory. False. One post on Twitter with more than 2,100 retweets and shares, look at this, falsely claims that Tom Hanks, who tested positive for coronavirus in Australia, was actually arrested for pedophilia.
Oh.
It goes on to say that other A-list celebrities will soon be arrested, which is kind of weird because now, like, I don't want to say I support or believe any of these, but is it bad to say that I take pleasure in hearing them? Just hearing how crazy, like, people can get with them and stuff? And I'm almost scared to say they're crazy because they're going to be like, fucking, we're going to make shit up on you. And I'm not Tom Hanks. I'm not Oprah. I can't just easily dispel shit on fucking social media. Golly. But apparently there were the people behind Pizzagate and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was making me think that, when it says there are other A-list celebrities who will soon be arrested, that makes me think, like, celebrities with coronavirus, a.k.a. arrested pedophilias. So Idris Elba, did you know he has coronavirus?
No.
Yeah, Idris Elba has coronavirus.
Oh.
He tested. Apparently he, I guess, I don't know if he's on a set or what it was. He was with somebody, and I guess they had tested, so he tested himself. And I mean, he didn't test himself.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't. He probably could. He's that badass. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to go pretty far. Yeah, and then they talk about Pizzagate. We don't have to get into the whole Pizzagate thing. That thing's... See, that's what's so funny to me. Like, the whole Pizzagate thing, like, it seemed to be people focusing on, like, oh, yeah, they think a sex ring is running out of a pizza shop. And I think there was a lot more to it than that. And that's what's kind of funny to me because I'm like, it turned out there was a sex ring on a fucking island.
Yeah.
That we know for a fact a lot of elite people went to.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, whatever. It's not crazy.
Well, they never got any of the juicy details that we know of. Because Epstein was on the verge of, like, giving up his black book, allegedly.
Was he though? That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I mean, somebody was worried about something.
Well, that's why I think it's possible that he did kill himself. Because he's like, I'm not gonna give these people up. Like, I just don't like. I don't know how he would turn. Like, if he's that awful of a person, and he's like, these are all my buddies. Like it's believable to me to think that he would kill himself. Like, I don't know why that's so crazy. Like, no, he didn't kill himself. He was going to turn them all in. I'm like, what? Like, explain to me the life that you think Jeffrey Epstein is going to have. Being a billionaire owner of a pedophile fucking island. He's like, yeah, but... Like,
well,
what kind of deal is he going to work out where he walks
one?
Well, that's true.
They gave him one.
God damn it, you're right.
So
that's what I was thinking. Though, because that's
like,
what I'm like. Because even if I was in his place, it's not like, oh, I worked out a deal with my lawyer. Like, what's the deal? Like, oh, I'm gonna get to go away free. Like, fuck you. They're not gonna let you go away free.
I would imagine. Like, I don't think he'd get like.
You're right. He did get away.
He would get great treatment, but I don't know if he served up like 5 U.S. presidents and like some royals. You don't think they'd give him like something like reduced sentence or?
I know, but to me, he should serve, I don't know, maybe 1,500 years in prison.
True.
So like a light sentence would be 750 years in prison. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, any way that guy, like, I just don't see how anything light, short of like,
or maybe they
like something short of death, which would be incarceration forever. Which, let's be honest, if he was incarcerated in a Gen Pop, it's a little term I learned from television, that general population of prison, he would probably die there, I think.
But maybe
not.
Maybe they were already negotiating some kind of thing where he would get to live in like a cush, like minimum security prison cell by himself with like TV and stuff. Like,
do you really think like this is a billionaire who had a pedophile island and he's like, no, I'm willing to live out my days with cable TV and a nice, I don't know, I just don't feel like there's any deal that is like, when you go from the lifestyle that he had to like anything less than that, I don't think like,
I don't know, maybe he had like,
it's there's a term for that when people like people in wealthier countries commit suicide a lot more and stuff. It's like, why aren't people like in third world countries that live in poverty stricken area, like, why aren't they killing themselves? Their lives are much worse. But it's this discrepancy between like the life that I live and everything. And there's a term for it, and I've heard it, but
more money, more problems.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but it's just like if I went from like being a billionaire, it's like actors per se, like, oh, I used to be on, let's say, the Cosby Show, and now I'm bagging groceries at a grocery store. Totally fine life to have, to be a bagger at a grocery store, and nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But some people, like a lot of people, reacted to that guy from the Cosby Show. It's like, oh man, how you not want to kill yourself? That's so shitty. And it's like, that difference in lifestyle is just so crazy to them that you could go from top of the world to now you're just a regular normal person. Like, how can you do that? So that's what I'm saying. Like, and like for him to live such a lavish lifestyle and just like even for him to live in a suburb, like in a 2-bedroom house, and just like, I think he'd want to kill himself. I don't think.
But
how you curb that?
Do you think Donald Trump could have pardoned him?
Dude, like I say, he's got to go. He couldn't live in America. I mean, he's probably like, yeah, well, I won't live in America. Like, that's probably totally fine with him.
I will go to Thailand.
You're probably right. He probably did get murdered. But, I don't know. I just, it's totally plausible to me that a guy in his situation would be like, yeah, fuck this, man, I'm out. Like, there's no deal that's going to be made to where.
Well, I almost kind of feel like if that were the case, he would have done that before he got locked up.
Very true. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was like waiting out. Maybe he's like, come on, bro. We've been here. We don't need to go through this whole rigmarole. But once he realized, because a lot of people don't even know about, I mean, what year was it that he got away with it? It wasn't that long ago, but I don't even remember. I mean, granted, I wasn't plugged into fucking current events or anything.
Yeah,
but so
I'm not sure.
I'm sure in his world, he felt like everyone knew, but the mass fucking public did not know anything about his prior fucking problems and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's probably I'm sure you look into a lot of people that have prior things, and you're like, oh, holy shit. It's like, I remember hearing about the whole Podesta guys, which I'm sure if I mention them, they're tied with the Pizzagate stuff, and people are... I will say this, and I'm pretty sure it is factual, that he has... So Jeffrey Dahmer was a murderer, okay?
Okay.
And he was kind of popular for... he was kind of popular, that's not a way to put it. He would pose sometimes the bodies... in awkward positions, and one of them was doing like that, let's say you like lay on your back and then you put your hands by your head and you do that thing where you arch your back up. You know what I'm talking about? Well, they had one kind of pose like that. It was headless, by the way. And Podesta has a like statue of that in his house.
Jesus.
Like it's that, and it could be coincidence, but I'm like, man, you have a headless statue posed that same way, and there is a really weird I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast before. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't remember it.
But he has some sort of portrait with like a little girl, like the upskirt shot or something.
Jesus.
And I'm pretty sure these are factual. I hope I'm not lying about these. And I'm not saying, oh, that proves everything. I'm just saying, like, that's weird shit to have on your walls. Definitely when you're like way over middle aged. I don't know why you would want that, but I don't know. Then you got that weird lady that does that blood stuff. We shouldn't talk about this. I don't know.
The Theranos lady?
Is that the one that does like the blood parties or something for Hollywood people?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Steve Jobs looking lady.
Steve Jobs looking lady. You talking about the one that helped out Epstein with all the getting the ladies and stuff?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about somebody completely different.
Okay, never mind. God, it's a giant web, dude. It's a giant web. And that's what I'm saying, like, not even necessarily that I believe it's true, but it's interesting to look into. Like, just like the flat earth thing, when I heard about that, like, it's not like, oh, you know what? I've thought that too, man. I believe that. Nothing like that, but I'm like, man, I want to know where they're coming from. I want to know, like, what gives them that idea and, like, how they can prove it. Everything I've seen has been a little disappointing. They haven't quite turned me.
But
so
I don't know. I mean, there are definitely there have to be like people in the world that are so rich that they're 100% above the law and they do the most evil shit imaginable.
Yeah, you're probably right. Part of me hopes the whole coronavirus thing is like a hoax,
like a plague.
Not like a plague. I was hoping it'd be like a hoax and no one actually died, but I don't know how they would. I don't know how the fuck you pull that off.
No.
I have no fucking idea how anyone would pull that off. I don't know what like, and that's what's weird is I feel like a lot of people would be angry if it was a hoax. Which rightfully so, but at the same time you're like, what if you found out like no one actually had it, no one actually died? I mean, that'd be good, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm kind of, I don't know, man.
It'd also be kind of scary because like why did they do that? Like,
Yeah,
what
that's
else
real
was
scary.
going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's where you're like, oh, that's cool that nobody died. Like, wait, why did they do that? Like, what did you guys do? What did you guys do? Is everyone in their homes and you guys are just like out on the streets? Like, I think Epstein might be making America his pedophile island, Smiley.
Oh, Jesus.
I think he's getting everyone into their homes. No, I don't know.
Or maybe
I'm
they
trying
killed
to be
Epstein and it was part of a demonic sacrifice, and he's gonna come back in like another form, and he went into another dimension, and he's gonna come back through and like fulfill the pact of the interdimensional child molester, satanic cabal.
Are you making this up off the top of your head,
Yes.
or have you been reading? Okay, thank God. I was really worried you've been reading stuff. I'm like, is that a thing? Yeah, we could definitely sit here and probably come up with. I'm trying to think of some way to work in flat Earth and moon landing into this whole coronavirus Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Flat Earth and moon landing.
Yeah.
Maybe the
So whenever he
pedophile
goes-
island is on the underside of the disc, the flat disc.
I like that. I mean, I
And,
don't like that, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, people. I don't like that. I just like the crazy idea of it.
I'm trying to think of how to get the moon landing in there.
God, I feel like I have to give a.
It was filmed like on a
I feel
Hollywood
like-
set.
Are you getting a little
but-
worried that some
but
of our
they
stuff?
were actually, it doubled as a child pornography film studio.
Okay.
They were hiding children under the rocks.
Maybe that's why Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin had to go to the moon, so that they can investigate that they could put the island there.
And Stanley
And maybe
Kubrick.
it is there.
Stanley Kubrick did film it, and that's why he made Eyes Wide Shut, and that's why he died after filming Eyes Wide Shut, because he knew too much.
Okay. I'm really worried that like somehow this is gonna get like a podcast with 0 listeners is somehow gonna get picked up, taken out of context, and then we're gonna be the next guys, and I'm gonna go to fucking hit that little magnifying glass on Twitter and be like, why is Smiley's Corner trending worldwide? 2 fucking idiots.
See us on CNN.
That's what we got to do. We just
Global
maybe-
phenomenon,
maybe-
Smile Eyes Corner.
But see, that's what's funny is I feel like any sort of reaction gives a justification to the people that are making the theories, because it's like, oh, you notice how they're not addressing, they're not talking about it? It's because it's true. Or the exact opposite, like, you notice how they're all talking about it? That's because we've hit on the truth. It's like you're going to use any sort of reaction to justify, like, oh, no, we know. But I believe Q, obviously QAnon, from what I understand, and I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I say, kind of hoping nobody listens so they don't think I'm a weirdo. A lot of disclaimers in this episode. A lot of like, but as far as I understand, it's some sort of message board. I don't know if it's specifically 4chan. It might be Reddit, but basically some person that had worked for the government in some form or capacity or whatever is basically QAnon. That is the person QAnon, and they are
right.
basically filling all these people, giving them the information, and they're kind of going forward with it. So, yeah, I guess. You know what's funny, though, is I just realized Oprah said, no, just sanitizing and social distancing. You could do that in a prison cell. She never said she was in prison. Well, I think she did actually say that. Yeah, actually, never mind. She said, yeah, I haven't been raided or arrested. Damn it. I was hoping it was like I like how I'm like, let's say she was guilty of sex trafficker, and now I'm trying to, like, reason out, like, well, maybe she's trying not to lie, but it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't fucking care. She'd just say, like, no, okay.
Yeah, after, I can't remember how I came across it. I was at work watching YouTube videos, and I watched a Shia LaBeouf interview from, like, when he was, like, a kid, when he was, like, 16 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him on Conan. And then after that, it recommended some, like, conspiracy video with Shia LaBeouf, Mel Gibson, and can't remember if it was Will Smith or, like, or Jaden Smith, I think. But it kept talking about it was
Like it had them in the video talking, or it was a video talking about those.
like it was a bunch of like footage from interviews and like I don't know, stuff you've seen on the
They're
internet.
saying Mel Gibson is against it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they showed like Conspiracy Theory, the movie that he did. And they talked about how like the whole intro sequence where he like goes on this whole spiel, like he goes through like 50 different conspiracy theories in like one shot, and they're like, oh, he just ad-libbed this because he knows like all this stuff's in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And he's explaining this stuff because he's going against them, but he still has to play by their rules. Like he can only like give away like certain things, but
Oh, I see what you were saying. So if he would if his character in the film would have actually spoke truth to actual like kind of crazy, or do you think he was basically like not controlled opposition, but like we're gonna have a movie where a character is going to talk about all the conspiracy theories that people in the real world believe, but we're gonna make him seem crazy in the film, so that it doesn't give it sort of any legitimacy.
Something like that. It was really bizarre. It was all over the place, but
like, what if Alex Jones is actually like with the people that he's claiming he's against, but he's basically like, because I think the vast majority of people think he's probably a dick or like just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what? But what if that's his role to play? What if he knows everything that everyone is doing, but he's like, well, my job is to basically like air it out, but in the craziest way possible. It's like, yeah, there are pedophiles, but I'm also going to say that there are lizard people.
Yeah, and the frogs made him gay.
Like, so it's like you just had like a bit of truth, and no one's going to take you seriously now. Because I feel like, have you ever seen? I don't know if we ever talked about it, but there's a movie. It was a really great movie called. I just lost it. Promised Land. It has Matt Damon and John Krasinski.
No.
I can't recommend it enough. I'm gonna ruin it for you though.
Oh, is that the like it's about like something in Africa or some shit?
No. This is basically Matt Damon works for an oil company that goes to a small town, and he's basically like going to the small town and trying to buy everyone's land. He's like going home to home, like, hey, we're gonna put a rig on your land and stuff, and we want to pay you for it. And then basically an environmentalist comes into town, i.e. John Krasinski, and he's like basically reporting on he's like doing the opposite. He's like protesting, going house to house, being like, hey, don't do this. The company this guy works for is like bullshit. They're gonna rip you off. They're here's a town in America that they did this to, and it's left in ruins. So it's them going back and forth the whole movie trying to win over this town.
Yeah.
And then Matt Damon finally, I can't remember, I think it was I don't remember exactly how he found out, but it was basically like there was a picture that he was using as evidence against this company, and Matt Damon realized like some sort of discrepancy. Like there was a silo, but it was like supposed to be on the coast. Why would you have a silo on the coast, or a lighthouse? Something to do with that. But basically it turned out that all the information that John Krasinski was providing to the town was made up. It was bullshit.
Oh.
So therefore the town was like, okay, well, fuck the environmentalist guy. Let's go. But here's the kicker. John Krasinski was hired by the same oil company that Matt Damon was hired for.
Yeah.
Now, and that was unbeknownst to Matt Damon, the whole movie. So it's like definitely, that's what I'm saying by controlled opposition. It's like, and that's why I wonder if like Alex Jones, it's like maybe a lot of what he says is true, but he gives a hint of truth with the most crazy batshit insane, rip your shirt off, I'm selling supplements and stuff kind of to make it, to not give any sort of legitimacy to people like QAnon or stuff. Or maybe QAnon is an actual person that works for the government, and he's like, hey, we need to have somebody on these conspiratorial message boards and just feed them bullshit so they'll look dumb, and then no one will believe any crazy conspiracy theory. No one will ever believe we have a pedophile. And then, like, now I'm thinking maybe Jeffrey Epstein wasn't a pedophile. Maybe there wasn't actually ever a fucking pedophile island or anything. Maybe everyone's just really normal, Smiley.
But the rest of the video was hilarious because it was all over the place. But they talked about Shia LaBeouf being like MK Ultra, and like that's why he like had that whole sequence with the "He Will Not Divide Us," and like he would get drunk and like get kicked out of places, and he like spit on a cop and the whole thing. And now he's like sober and he's like making all these like great indie movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they finally like got him back under control, but like for a while, like he was just like he seemed like a joke because they wanted him to look like a joke because he didn't like do what he was supposed to do.
Yeah. And that, like I say, if you look, I know if you look far enough into these crazy conspiracy theories that you can find something that you're kind of like, holy shit. Like there's I think there's been at least 2 that have worked for Nickelodeon, but I mean there's one guy in particular like that there's a really it's not even creepy, but it's like Leonardo DiCaprio on the set of Growing Pains when he's a kid. And he's like not hugging on the guy, but like kind of hanging around showing people the set and stuff. And it's creepy now because that guy, like, factually has been arrested for child pornography and stuff. And it's like, wow, that's weird. He worked on, like, a children's network with kids. You see, like, I don't know. Like, looking at this kind of interview with Leonardo DiCaprio in that light. This is when he's, like, 13, by the way. And he's kind of hanging on this guy and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, wow, that's creepy. Because that guy probably really was like, this is awesome. I love young Leo. Ugh.
But they also had Jaden Smith.
And Leo likes girls young.
They had Jaden Smith, and they were talking about him. They kept showing his dad trying to kiss him on the mouth.
I've heard a lot of stuff about Will Smith. Like he's, I mean, as far as I've heard that he's a big focal point for a lot of conspiracy stuff, a lot of gay stuff, and fucking.
But apparently, they said that it's like it's part of like a ceremony. They have to like publicly shame the person to like get them into whatever it is. It's some kind of weird like ritualistic thing, and like it also they were talking about him wearing like women's clothing and declaring that he was non-binary and stuff.
He's
like
done a lot of stuff. Wouldn't that be funny if like he's normal and he's like, no man, I'm normal. I'm just trying to, I don't know, play along or something with what they're trying to do. But I mean, I don't know anything about the conspiracies, but I know that like Will Smith has definitely conspiracies around him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just like, well, yeah, I guess it goes further than what I was just thinking, but I've definitely heard like homosexual stuff, and he doesn't really want that out there and everything.
He has like an open marriage.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Like I think
weird.
him and Jada both like agreed that they'll always like come back to each other, but they can like kind of take their passions wherever they lead.
Jeez Louise.
I don't quote me on that, but that's what I've heard.
Well, that just makes me look at everything differently because now I watched an interview with, I can't remember the movie that he did with Margot Robbie, but I'm like, man, they're kind of flirty, but, you know, it's Hollywood. I don't know why that's Hollywood to me, but I was just like, oh, you know, they're actors. They're good-looking people. They're charming.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking they fucked. That sucks. I like Margot Robbie. I don't know why I'm like, that sucks. Like
Will Smith ruined her?
Yeah, I was hoping she would stay pure for me. Like that was ever going to fucking happen. But yeah, I mean, I like Margot Robbie a lot.
Yeah.
Like I like her a lot. Like a lot.
So you don't think Leonardo DiCaprio had something to do with her too?
You just assume she's just a whore that just fucks everybody on set? Is that what you're thinking? What about Brad? Oh wow, that's funny. I couldn't think of Brad Pitt. Who's the other guy in that movie? Oh yeah, Brad Pitt, the other guy in that movie. I can't believe I don't think Brad Pitt should ever be referred to as the other guy in that movie. Won an Oscar for that film. It's weird. It's an alright movie. Parasite's still number 1 though, bitch. Recognize. Hey, that's kind of weird. Parasite, and now the world's under siege from a parasite. Is it a parasite? Is that what they consider that?
I don't know. Well,
sometimes I just ramble on here, and then I like. That's why there's every episode I should just do one giant disclaimer at the beginning and end instead of just constantly.
But
throughout.
I think the coronavirus it like attaches itself because that's what the little like things on the top. That's why they call it. It looks like a crown sticking out. There's little pointy things.
Oh, pointy. Those look like fucking bugles or fucking something.
But it like attaches to the cells and then it like replicates itself, and that's why it gets sick. Wow. But I think they're testing like some kind of antiviral drug which will basically help like create more antibodies, and they won't be able to attach to that, and then it'll stop it.
Yeah, I have. I was we were talking off mic. I've heard good news towards that stuff, but just I haven't heard that enough. Like I say, I've referred to Twitter a lot. And like yesterday, I thought fucking Oprah got arrested for sex trafficking. I'm like, this is fucking nuts. Like that, I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude. Like that's crazier than anything ever. And I was just like, motherfucker, he was on to something the whole fucking time.
Yeah, speaking of Bong Joon-ho,
that's the director for the film Parasite. Everyone,
I watched a weird video on how what is it, Willy Wonka, and is the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? I think
Willy Wonka. That's the Gene Wilder one.
Okay.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the Johnny Depp one.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is that right?
I don't know. But anyways, the Gene Wilder movie, how it tied into Snowpiercer. And like these people, like they did like some crazy ass research, like analyzing all this stuff, like how
Snowpiercer is a film by Bong Joon-ho. Did I say that right?
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Do you want me to? There might be like spoilers.
Well, I'm assuming. Well, I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. For everyone listening, puts a gold ticket into a bar. Kid gets it. Actually, a few kids get it. They get to go to his factory. They see a lot of crazy shit there. And then, I don't really remember the fucking ending of that movie. Good day, sir. I remember that.
He gives him the key.
Oh, he gets the key, and then he takes over and runs the whole factory,
Yeah.
right? Does he really run the whole factory? That's the only movie that kid's been in ever.
Really?
And he chose that. There was a big, they're one of those stupid clickbaity articles, but I think he's a farmer or something. Like he had no desire to keep going.
That's what's up. That's pretty
kind of tells you
admirable.
Something. Why would a kid not want to be around those people? So we've only been talking about the seedy underworld of Hollywood. So he really runs the factory at the end? It's funny how much I remember from that movie, but I don't remember how it ends.
Well, I don't think like they go into like that detail of it per se. They're just like,
the other kids are good by the end. Is that right?
No, I think they never to be seen again type of thing. I think.
Well, they're dead?
Well, nobody knows.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I can't.
I gotta see this movie again. Did he really kill those kids? All right, can we go through the?
Maybe they were okay.
Wait, that can't be right, because one of them got stuck in like a TV or something. You're not gonna tell me? Well, I like how I'm like debating.
Well, the Oompa Loompas just like roll him out the side door, and
so the fat kid gets stuck in that chocolate river tube, right? Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know that kid's name. The big famous one is the fucking Veruca Salt. Is that the big blueberry girl? She expands into a big blueberry. Is that Veruca Salt?
No, the Violet something.
Oh, Violet. She turns violet.
Yeah.
I got you.
Veruca Salt like fell down the shaft or whatever, and her dad like chased after her. I can't remember what they.
Isn't it weird that it's like a British movie, but Gene Wilder's not British? I don't know why that's so weird to me. It's a very British film to me.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously for obvious reasons. Okay, and then that one kid gets stuck in a TV though, doesn't he? Right?
Maybe.
What's his name? Tommy. He's got like guns or something. It's like a cowboy kid. Gotta see this movie again. I've never even seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, the Johnny Depp.
It's possible that I have, and I've forgotten even more of it than I apparently did. To be fair, Willy Wonka, I haven't seen that in years. But
yeah.
Where were we going with that? I think I just wanted to name off how they died.
Yeah.
And then Charlie got shit because he floated up and he was like fucking...
Yeah, he drank the soda or whatever.
Fizzy Lipton. Lipton or Lifton?
No idea.
This is probably not a good... But I just remember that famous, like, good day, sir. I mean, he screams it, but I'm not going to scream it for the...
But the whole, like, Snowpiercer tie-in was basically the...
Oh, that's right. And Snowpiercer is about a... That's what I was trying to tie in the movie for anyone who hadn't seen it. Snowpiercer is about snow being pierced.
People riding on a train that goes infinitely around the world.
I just realized. I just was it the elite are at the front of the train?
Yeah.
The poor at the back of the
Uh-huh.
train? That's funny. Class war there, too. And
Yeah.
there's class war, quote unquote, in
Uh-huh.
Parasite. I don't know if it's quite as. I mean, it's definitely there, but it's not like they hate rich people and the rich people in the movie hated poor people. It wasn't anything like that.
But the Willy Wonka tie-in was basically like all the different characters from Willy Wonka being like possible, like basically this is them in the future, and Charlie being the guy running the whole thing from the front of the train, as like taking them, like
so this
use
is
them as his minions because he felt bad for him.
Charlie being that kid from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory grown up in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't even know how the fuck you would get from one to the other, but
So, well, it's
are they
just like
so? Okay.
there's a
This
lot
isn't-
of like
this isn't a
ties
very-
in with like symbolism and like logos and names and stuff.
Wait, so is this like an actual thing that Bong Joon-ho was trying to do?
No, it's just like
Okay, whoa.
I think somebody because at the end, like the guy was like, if you think this is interesting, tweet Chris Evans and ask him.
Oh, wow.
And I think people did, and he was just kind of like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but I don't know.
Oh, people did reach out to him and stuff, and he
Uh-huh.
actually. Oh, wow. Do you know who he's supposed to be? Like what? So were they supposed to be like? Are they talking like literally that's Charlie from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and all those characters are like, they're not stand-ins or representations of those characters? Are they arguing that those characters are literally the same people?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
just in the future.
Who's Channing? Wait, Chris Evans. Why do I get Channing? Was Channing Tatum in that movie?
No,
Okay. I thought it was Channing Tatum.
no, he has a beard. He looks kind of different. I
Channing
guess.
Tatum kind of reminds me of Chris Evans. I think that might be. I never realized that till right now. But I'm like, yeah, they're kind of the same. One was Joe. I'm assuming in G.I. Joe. I don't know. Is there a Joe? Did I just make myself look like an idiot to fucking legions of G.I. Joe fans? Hey, I know Snake Eyes and Cobra Eyes.
Cobra.
And Viper Eyes.
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. You know, I watched a little bit of that. Actually, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. The Ray Park, who plays one Darth Maul, plays. Yeah. Fuck. He's in G.I. Joe. He's one of those dudes. Makes sense, you know. A lot of karate and fucking jumping around and stuff. But yeah, we didn't really plan much for this episode because, you know, world's on. You know, it's funny. I just realized we didn't plan a lot because the world's in quarantine, and I realized that means we should have planned really, really well.
Yeah, I haven't been doing anything except like
You've been watching any MB? Oh, never mind.
I worked an extra day over the weekend, and I've been playing a lot of Zelda still.
I mean, that's a good way to spend your time. I've been working in a grocery store, so that's been a lot of fun. Nothing crazy at all going on there or anything. So yeah, no one's freaking out.
Not to get coronavirus from truck drivers.
That's a good thing to try to do. You know, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, this is the time that I should like make a list of. It's funny how like I don't know, even when it's like impending doom and it's like an awful movie going on in the real world, I still can't bring myself to do some things. I'm like, you know what? I need to like, I don't know. Maybe you can't find what you need at the grocery store. Maybe it's time to try some new recipes, John. Maybe it's time to do that.
Trying to mix it up a little bit.
Hey, I'm gonna be at home a little more. Maybe I could do a couple sit-ups, a couple push-ups. Have to remind myself to do that. It's funny that it's never on my to-do list, but I always get that sleep knocked out though. I always get that one taken care of. I haven't been lacking on that.
I did get a lot of sleep.
I think part of me is kind of hoping that I can just like, you know, I mean, it sounds like such a childish, like millennial thing. Like, I hope I can just get to sleep through it all and it'll be over when I wake up. That is kind of funny to me because I think someone pointed out about, what is it? I'm trying to think of how they said it. I don't know. I just think if it's like the opposite of the draft, that's what it is. Like your grandfathers are being called to war, you're being called to sit at home. Like you can do this. I'm like, yeah, it's like the opposite of the draft. They don't want anybody, like no one to do anything or go anywhere. I do worry though a lot just about the people that work at restaurants, bars,
Yeah.
other stores. I guess I don't know.
Do you think they'll, I keep hearing them talk about, like, giving out another stimulus package, but...
I've heard talk of that. I thought it was like, that's fucking bullshit. No way that's going to happen. But it sounds... I've heard government officials talking about it, so it makes me think
I mean,
that
I
it
don't
might
think
be,
any of our money is any good anymore anyways. Like, I think it's all, like... Because we don't have, like, a gold standard anymore. So they just basically just print money and go further into debt. So... I think they could probably spare like $1,000
per person.
Yeah.
Man, that's such like.
Or
I think that's why I feel like stuff like that won't happen. Just because I'm like, that it's such a Herculean undertaking that I'm like, how could you even do that? I don't even know how you would do that. Like.
Well, I mean, they'd done it for like taxes and stuff.
I know. I can't. I'm so glad that there are smarter people in the world than me. And like I say, a lot of this stuff I can't even fathom how, like, I'm just thinking about like, oh, if I were to do, I don't know, if we had merch, I'm just thinking if we had to sell stuff to 100 people, I'm like, man, that's a lot of fucking people, man. And now I'm thinking like 300 million Americans that you have to, well, there's 330 or something like that. Some of those are homeless. Some of those are children, so I guess maybe it's not that many, but still like 100 million. I'm just thinking like, you got to mail letters to 100 million people? Like I just can't even. I don't know. It's mind-boggling.
I don't know. I guess if
the world is overwhelming,
if you
Smiley.
weren't skeezy,
even when it's going well, it's overwhelming to me.
If you weren't skeezy and you did your taxes on time, then couldn't they just use your all your info and give you another direct deposit? Just bloop it in there.
God, yeah. I think it. You're right. It's easy. It's just that there's so many people.
Yeah.
that I think it sounds hard.
And you'd have to have people
Did
working.
you do your taxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did mine too, but I think I did mine in January. Well, maybe February. But I already got it back and everything, so.
Yeah, I just did mine, but it turned around really quickly. I was surprised.
Yeah, I was kind of. That's the thing too, man. Is I'm like, dude, everyone in America has to do their taxes. There's no way I'm getting in this like 2 weeks. And then less than 2 weeks it always shows up. And I'm like, like I say, I'm amazed at people.
I think they're probably happy though whenever you click the direct deposit thing rather than like a paper check.
Okay.
Because I'm sure it's all like automated. They maybe have somebody go back and double check it, but because it's your fault if you like fucked it up.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a negative guy, and sometimes I feel like a child. Like I have childlike wonder. I'm just amazed at what people can do and achieve. I don't know. You see, like I say, I'm like amazed that they can handle. Like, man, they got that money to me quick. I don't. And it's funny. It's like even as I'm doing the taxes, like I don't even know why I'm getting this. I don't even know what I did to do. Where this is coming from. They're just doing it.
Basically, gave the government your money to hold for like a year, and then they gave it back to you.
What if I just tell them to keep it? Just keep it, man, and just just throw it to I'm trying to think of who would need it. I don't know. Yeah, put it into a bartender/server fund for everyone that's struggling right now. I don't know.
Well, you could do that yourself. Start a GoFundMe.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. I don't know, man. I don't feel comfortable with that. I'd rather just, like, walk up to people and be like, hey, man, here's my tax money I got back. Actually, that's probably not going to do a lot of good at all. Yeah, that's not going to hold them over very long. But, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a guy or a lady or a they take care of it for me. But then you got to, like, can I trust them? And how do I pay them? Fucking. That's what I'm saying. The world's overwhelming me, Swan. I can't take it. I'm having a nervous fucking breakdown.
Well, do you want to cover anything else? We've been going at this for about 50 minutes. You think we should wrap it up?
I wish I had a good coronavirus joke. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of coronavirus jokes out there and stuff, but I was kind of hoping I could come up with one, but I don't. Yeah, I can't. I don't really. You know what's on? You know what's kind of weird is I've definitely joked about serious things in my life. You know, things that people arguably would say that you shouldn't joke about, and it's really weird. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm looking at my screen, but it's kind of, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's like I guess I do kind of joke about it, but I get really uncomfortable when I hear other people joke about it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in my head, like I say, like I personally want this to be a hoax, and I want it to all be fake, and it just turns out like I fucking got your ass, like. But whenever I hear other people like not taking it seriously, I'm like, man, don't fucking say that, dude, because like you're gonna get it, and now you're fucking. Like I say, I don't know if I believe in karma, but I'm like, I'm scared to say it because I know it's gonna be me. It's gonna fucking be me.
It's gonna be me.
No, don't fucking say that. Now you're gonna fucking make fucking Britney Spears get it. I'm just worried that I don't know. Like I say, anytime I'm like tempted, there was even a guy at work. He kind of had his whole thing was he asked his wife too, and he was like, hey, do you want to hear a joke about coronavirus? And the goal is to get you to say like, yeah, sure. And he says, wow, you really fucked up. Like that's his joke that he made up. But whenever he asked me, I was like, nope. And normally I would, but like I said, it's like this karma thing. Like, dude, it's still going on. It's still fresh. It's going to hear me. It's going to hear that we're not taking it seriously. And it's going to fucking roll its little virus ass right over to me. Oh, now you're pulling up. Fucking, what the hell are you pulling up, man? Pulling up bad news?
Trying to find a joke, but it's like all memes.
Oh, you're trying to find a coronavirus joke.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you find one that has Corona beer in it, don't use that one. That's lame. It's lame, bro. Can you imagine if it was, you know what? I think we could write a joke, because think about it. You got coronavirus, corona, you can make a joke, so it's beer related. So all we have to do is come up with a punchline that is beer related. Did you know that there is another virus actually going around, Smiley, that makes you pee a lot? Yeah, it's called Miller Lite virus. I fucked it up. I don't know.
There's lots of like stupid Twitter jokes.
Oh yeah, everyone's having a great time on Twitter. That's what I'm saying. That's what's so weird, because people are sharing stuff. Like, it's weird because half the world's like kind of not taking it seriously. And a lot of people are like trying to have fun with it, because it's, you know, it's a trying time. People are trying to lift their spirits, and that's what's so weird. Because I saw like, you know, people sharing photos of customers going ham on a fucking pallet of toilet paper and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of crazy and funny, but like, it kind of like just scares me. Like, I want to laugh, and I do laugh, but in the back of my head, I'm like, it hurt me to laugh. It's like, oh, you're not gonna take us seriously?
Now you're gonna die.
Yeah, we should probably end so I don't start crying like a little baby.
I did think this was kind of funny. Let me see if I can. Where did it go? It disappeared. Yeah, Tim Dillon. He's always got some gold.
Yeah.
He says there's going to be a lot of pressure over the next few days to talk to friends and family. Fight it. Stay positive.
All right.
All right, everybody.
That's good enough. We love you all. And
wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands. Well, do the 5. Google keeps telling me to do the fucking 5. You don't get this?
No.
Oh man, dude, I keep getting a fucking update. Like, do the 5. It's wash your hands. Okay, it's 1. I think it's kind of weird because it says hands, wash them. Elbow, cough, sneeze into it. Stay 3 feet away, or do the distance thing. If you're 6, stay home. That's 4. I don't know what the 5 is. The 5 is I'm gonna die because I don't know the 5th one, Smiley. I don't know. Whatever. Just love one another. 5. Love one another. There we go.
All right, everybody. Peace be with you. Thank you for listening.
And you.